Steph, what were those first three quarters like for you coming back, and then what was different about the fourth quarter?
I mean, after 4 weeks, it's obviously just kind of hit or miss on how much rust you'll have and how quickly you can get up to the speed of the game. And obviously with the flow, the way that they were playing, first quarter felt good just to be back out there and running with my guys and feeling the energy in the building again. And then kind of hit a little lull in the second and third quarter. I felt like I got stronger as the game went on, which is exciting knowing, body will respond coming on this road trip and be able to continue to build my endurance back to where it was, before the injury, and then hopefully get everybody on the same page of how we need to go through this road trip and find a way to kind of right the ship after these last 3 games.
I'm sure part of the fourth was, you're trying to get back in the game, but how much of your aggression in the fourth was trying to shoot yourself into a rhythm?
It was my longest run of the game. The minutes restrictions are always tough because you're trying to pace yourself, but you're also looking at the clock every possession, like counting, knowing when you're going to come out. So you try to have that balance. You don't want to force things just because you're only going to play a certain stretch of the game and kind of let the game come to you. But there is a little bit of pressure of trying to find, a rhythm as quick as possible, knowing the runs are a lot shorter than I'm used to. In the fourth, the intensity of the game picked up. We obviously were playing very desperate to try to come back and made some plays, felt like myself again, and then just felt a little short, obviously with the loss, but I think we all kind of found a rhythm towards, that or throughout that fourth quarter stretch that we can hopefully bottle up and take on the road with us, knowing we have to play desperate on the road to beat the teams that are coming up on the schedule and, again, rectify the way that we've been playing throughout the season on the road.
What is, you're wearing the sleeve. What does that do for the shoulder? Just wearing the sleeve and you got the tape. What is kind of, the purpose?
It gives you support and keeps it warm and allows me to feel, as composed in terms of everything that I'm trying to do, strengthening my shoulder to keep it right. And the fact I don't want anything on my right arm, because that is where I feel like the flow of in the rhythm of being able to shoot the ball. That's something that has tried pretty much everything when I was going through my workouts coming back, and that was the one. It looks wild, but that was the one that felt the best in terms of giving my shoulder the right support and feel, throughout the game.
Do you feel the shoulder at all still? I mean, did you feel it during the game tonight, taking hits or anything?
Anytime you have an injury, whether I feel it or not, it's more so I'm not thinking about it during the game, and that's the point we had to get to before I got cleared to play. So I don't think it matters how much I feel it. It's just that when I'm out there hooping, I'm not really thinking about it at all. So that's a positive, and hopefully it continues to stay that way with all the things I'll do in between games to keep it strong and keep the rehab process going, even though I'm back out there playing.
Stephen, is it somewhat bittersweet to see Damian on the other side?
No, absolutely not.
That's
I cut you off because in terms of he played extremely well tonight.
He did.
And I don't like to see it at all.
Yep.
I already cheered him on his first game in Phoenix at home when he hit the game winner, so I did enough cheerleading for D-Lee.
Yeah.
I am proud of him the way he's played throughout the year, and everybody he talked to in the Suns organization speaks so highly of who he is as a person, who he is as a player, what he does for a locker room, and again, how he's been playing on the court. He's shooting the ball at an extremely high level. So you hate to see it against, our team. I know it was a special night for him for sure. His family and the crowd who got to bring his son on the court to get the ring and all that, but I hated it at the same time.
Steph, you watched that 5-game win streak to start this trip, and now you guys lost 3 in a row. Where do you stand on like where you guys are, and how you feeling about what you need to do now, and now that you're back, do you expect a turn up?
You always expect a turn up. You always expect us to find a way to go on a run. We've been talking about it for a while. The way the guys played those first 5 games and scratching and clawing and pulling out those wins was huge. We hit a tough stretch for the last 3. It happens, but I think we have to be honest with ourselves about the details of what makes a winning team. Remind ourselves, what that is, and hold ourselves to that standard in terms of everything you saw in the fourth quarter tonight. Not saying you're going to pick up 94 feet every possession and be able to sustain that for 48 minutes, but the level of focus, the level of togetherness, toughness, high IQ basketball. We demonstrated a lot of that to try to give ourselves a chance to win tonight. So got to put all those pieces together, and a lot of it too is it's our defensive principle, not fouling, rebound the ball, which we didn't do either one of those tonight. Offensively moving the ball, we showed bright spots of that, and then figuring out our rotations again, because we've had guys in and out the lineup and guys on minute restrictions, and you want to find hopefully a good run where we have, like Clay said, a full squad, and understand again how we can build momentum. We've been talking about it for a long time, and eventually you got to do it, or else time runs out.
We back to hashtag full squad.
Jermichael's still out, and so we need him. But
That was
no t-shirts will be made.
You were talking about getting back to form. Wiggins said he's never been out this long, so it's kind of an adjustment period. But what do you think him picking up full court did for him and did for the team?
I mean, for our team, it helped us get back in the game. We got multiple extra possessions and steals and built a lot of momentum. I think for him individually, and anybody coming back from an injury, you got to remind your body what it's like to meet that level of intensity, because it's so hard to simulate that even in practice or scrimmages or in the conditioning stuff that you do. I've had 3 or 4 of these kind of 4 to 6 week absences where I understood more how to focus on the rehab, and then also make sure your body doesn't lose too much of the conditioning and the preparation that you've built over the summer and training camp in the first 30 games. But everybody responds to it differently, and you have to remind yourself what that level is like, and kind of shock the system a little bit to get over the hump, so that every game you get a little bit stronger. And I think he, or hopefully he felt that tonight, and will look a lot better come Friday when we play.
Going back to your answer to Marcus's first question, talking about at a certain point, you just kind of have to do it, right? And I mean, Steve was sitting up here saying, taking responsibility of not having you guys prepared to be locked in from the jump. Why do you think that this season there has been, lineups aside and guys coming in and out aside, why has it been challenging to kind of just get that mental locked inness, I guess?
I mean, you just said kind of setting it aside. It's hard to not be real with ourselves about that part of it, and also we're a different team than we were last year, and there's expectations of how we started last year that we're trying to meet, and it's taking us a little while. So early in the season it was, our starting lineup's great, and the bench was trying to find an identity. Then there were some injuries, and it was like, we can't win on the road. And then we found a way to scratch and claw, 5 straight wins out this homestand, and slowly get some reinforcements back off the injury list. And all the while we had moments where we've built an identity, and then it kind of escapes us a little bit. So coach obviously is going to blame us who he is as his character, but we also know that individually and collectively, everybody can be a little bit better, and that'll make us closer to the team that we need to be. And we got 41 games to figure it out, or else we won't.
Coach, I'm sorry. I was thinking, Coach, when you said Coach, Coach is in my head. Two-parter about Damian Lee. One, what did it mean for you to present him with the ring? And then two, the way he's shooting the three this year, you think he should be in the three-point contest?
Oh, for sure. I mean, usually you want the guys shooting the highest percentage and whatever that volume question is. So I think he qualifies for sure. And he spent 4 great years here. As they say, he got it out the mud in terms of from, you know, the G League affiliate in Boston to his first year out here, played a little bit of Santa Cruz and found his way onto the roster full time. And it was a huge part of our championship run. And everything that he brought to our locker room, and you know, he's taken that and now, you know, shared it with another organization that really respects and appreciates what he brings to the floor. So it's great to see. He's a professional, and he obviously belongs in the league, and he's going to be doing it for a long time.
You know, tonight's loss or even this 3-game losing streak aside, they did go, you know, you guys went 6-5 without you. Do you view that as a win in a sense?
I mean, yes, absolutely. We don't, we're in a great position. If you run, you know, 5-6 games off, you can have a really good kind of cushion in terms of being in that, you know, out to play in whatever section of the wild standings in the West, and figure out, you know, how to finish out the year strong. So to be, you know, it's not ideal, obviously, to finish these last 3 games, like you said, with losses, but really proud of the way the guys came together, the guys that were healthy and available, the way JP played, Clay, you know, shooting the ball and really impacting the game. Draymond put on defensive clinics every single night. You know, Dante stepping up and playing huge minutes, Lamb and Ty. And and obviously Loon, what he does every night. So those guys held the fort down for sure. It's not an easy thing to do for some of the guys that haven't played big minutes like that consistently, to keep bringing it every single night and find ways to win, especially even down the stretch. So it's 4 of those 5 games. So it was awesome to watch. And now we got to, you know, take the positives that were in there and do something about it on this road trip to give ourselves some real life. And that's the challenge.
There's been a lot of talk about the road record, and you've already brought up to hopefully bottle this up and go on the road. Do you have any concern that maybe for some of the younger players on the team, that in their minds, there's a concern that you guys can't win on the road since there haven't been that many road wins?
No, if you think like that, then you already lost. It's a matter of, again, focusing on, when we watch film tomorrow, all it is how do we box out better? How do we defend with a little bit more intelligence? How do we stay disciplined and not foul when you're out of the play and make guys, you know, hit tough shots? Offensively, how do you move the ball and play smart on that end of the floor to create good shots, because we have enough talent? Like, all those things, that's all you need to worry about. The rest will take care of itself in terms of, you know, showing up on the road and getting wins. Because the more you do everything I just said for 48 minutes on the road, the more you put yourself in positions to beat anybody. And we've shown we can do that. We just got to do it more consistently.
And then just one more question. On this trip, you guys are going to be going to the White House. It's been a while since you guys have gone there. Is the team looking forward to it?
Absolutely. Excited about just the celebration of what we did last year. And it's kind of like the one last moment to reflect on the accomplishment. I know we've all kind of turned the page on what this year really means, but it is a really special honor. We know all the, I call it, drama that went through those 2 years that we skipped it and whatnot. So definitely excited. I know our families are, and we'll enjoy the moment.
One more for you, for the White House. Friday night, Spurs are hoping to break the all-time NBA tennis record of 65,000. How excited are you about that? Have you ever played in the dome before? What will that experience be like for you?
Yeah, it'll be very unique. It'll be cool to be a part of, hopefully, a record-setting night. I've never been to the Alamo Dome. I have played in the Dome before at Ford Field in Detroit during our tournament run back in 08. And it's a wild experience when the court's in the middle of the floor. The sight lines are a little different, your depth perception is a little different, but there's nothing that can prepare you for just the atmosphere of. It's kind of like anytime a shot was made or something to cheer about, there's kind of like a delay kind of vibe where you hear the first couple of rows go crazy, and then it would kind of be like a wave that went through the arena. So it was really fun to play. I played 2 games in a dome setting, so it'd be interesting how many of those are Spurs fans legit. So we'll see how the road atmosphere is. If they have a real home court advantage, but that many people should be amazing.